Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Lo and this is Simply Lo. It's been a little while since I've last filmed a video. I used to film budget and cash stuffing videos, and it is still something that I really enjoy to do weekly and monthly. It's really helped me focus on my financial goals and pay off debt, but it's just not something that I really feel the excitement for filming anymore right now. So I haven't filmed any of that in a long while, and I think I might even put those old videos in a private folder just to stash away, as I want to focus on filming other content right now, and that content is planning. I am a planner girly. I love planning. I love having stationery. I love stickers. I love pens and inks. Everything that has to go with the stationery world, I love it. And since we are at the end of 2025, heading into 2026, I thought I would share what I'm using for this upcoming year. I thought it would be a fun little way to get back into filming and sharing something that I really enjoy. So let's get started. My first planner, I've had this planner for about 2 years now. It is the Louis Vuitton personal size 6-ring agenda, and this is my girl. She is my everyday carry. I use her for personal and business and other little note-taking things here and there. I try to use this to keep up with my goals, and it's really been something that's helped me stay organized and focused on what I want to do. So this is my girl. She's my everyday carry. Again, it's a personal size 6-ring agenda from Louis Vuitton, and it's been a while since I've kind of given her a refresh. A lot of the dashboards in here I've had for a while, but for 2026 I do want to give her a new look. I'll share with you a little bit of what I have in here at the moment. So when I first open it, I just have a few little journaling cards on the left here just to give it some interest. I have a photo here of myself and a friend of mine that we took on a Polaroid, and I really don't want to put too much. I don't want it to be a thing that's that is a distraction. So I really just have a few things that kind of remind me as to what I'm working on. This here, I use it for 2 reasons. The main reason I have this placed at the front is to protect the leather from the rings. I don't know if this would be picked up on camera, but there are several indents here from where the rings have touched the leather, and I really want to try and minimize that as much as possible. So I have this here that just tucks in there, and when I close it, the rings are not touching the leather. It hits up on this instead. This is a cloth and paper little folder you get when you make a purchase with cloth and paper, and it's the perfect size to just fit right there. And then inside here I have some little notes and scraps of paper of things I just want to remember that are not placed inside the agenda. And I also have stickers, some business cards, and little things in here to use within the agenda itself. I have this clear cover here mainly to protect the first sheet of the agenda, and I have some post-its here. This is a dashboard I created, kind of like a way for me to remember what I'm working on, my goals and values. So I have this here just to have a little bit of decor as well. And then I have some other little inserts from different stationery companies. These are my goal planning inserts. So again, like I mentioned earlier, I've had this for a while. I do want to do an update this year, kind of revamp it up a bit. The companies that I really love that I love to purchase from, it is Noted Co. in Australia. I really love also Cloth and Paper, Rosie Papeterie in Montreal. So it's a very wide range of companies that I purchase from. So I have like my business section, my personal section for notes and such, financial section. So, and then I also have some more tabs on the back here. I want to highlight something, and then some miscellaneous cards in the back. So I do want to revamp this and get rid of some old things that I won't be using in the new year, but this will be my main agenda for both personal and business. Love it. Next is from Sterling Ink. I was thinking about using Sterling Ink last year, but I wasn't too sure if it was something that I would find beneficial to help me with my schedule. But as I'm going back to school starting January, along with working full-time, I really thought that having a separate agenda for school would be great, because then I'd be able to really have more detail than what could fit in my personal ring agenda. And I also wanted to have something for work instead of just a notebook. So both of the next two agendas are from Sterling Ink, and the first one I'll show you here is my school agenda. So this is the Common Planner in the A5 Slim, and it is also the horizontal inserts. Now I haven't really decided what I'm going to use the layouts for. It's still something that I am working on, but I'll show you what I have planned so far. I also won't be going into depth in terms of what the layouts are on the inside. If you would like to have a deep dive on the Sterling Ink Common Planner layouts, there's so many videos on YouTube. Please feel free to check out those videos. They would do a much better job at explaining and showing things than I would. So this page here is the yearly tracker, and what I'm thinking about using this layout for is to track my time with a color key. So for example, let's say that on Monday, January 12th, I studied for 2 hours. I could do a blue dot, and that would be study, and then I could write 2 hours. I could have a purple dot, let's just say that was assignment work. That could be 1 hour. So I feel that this would be a great way for me to track my time and really make sure I'm spending adequate time doing the work that I need to in order to really be successful in school. This is the only thing I could really think about using this layout for. But if you guys have any ideas and suggestions, please feel free to put it in the comment section. I would love to hear what you guys have to say and suggest. The next layout here is the quarterly priorities and planning page. So my idea here is to track my assignments and quizzes on this page. So here I could put like January 10th, I have a quiz number 1, and that could be worth 5% of my grade. Then once the quiz is done and I get my grade, I could go back here and write in quiz number 1 and what the grade is. So this would be a great way for me to track what I have coming up for the next quarter, to make sure I'm spending adequate time doing that, and also to track the grades that go with those assignments and quizzes and such. Down here in these little squares here, I'm thinking about using this as a little area for me to reflect on how that month went in terms of my assignments and grades. Do I feel I spent enough time studying? Do I feel I spent a lot of focused time working on my assignment? Whatever it is, I could just kind of reflect on that month, and if there's changes that need to be made, I could implement that in the next month or quarter. After that, I have the monthly pages. So for the monthly pages, I am planning on using this to track my class schedule, important dates and meetings, and I still would also use a digital calendar. I would love to have that as well, because if I don't have my agenda with me, I always have my phone, and I'm usually always at a computer, so it's somewhere else that I could just reflect, find that information. But I do want to have it in here too, so that if I'm working on my agenda, I could quickly just flip to the month and have that available. So this will just be to track anything school related that has certain dates pertaining to it. I do already have some key dates coming up, so I'm going to be transferring this information into the agenda itself. And then I have the weekly. So these weekly pages, they are basically a week on one page and then a note section on the other page. So each week you have the same layout. And what I'm looking to use this page for is basically the weekly agenda. So I'll probably use the first half here, what I have due that week, what my reading assignments could be, and over here would be a task check off area. So I want to make sure I read 2 pages from this book. I could put that here. When it's done, just check it off. So this would be my task checklist over here. And then on the other page, it's just one page for notes, but it's not a lot of space to like take study notes, for example. So I'm thinking at the moment I would use this page for weekly reflections. I could, again, have something to reference and be like, okay, well, I did not study a lot this week. Maybe it should be a priority for the following week. It could be how I'm feeling this week in terms of what I'm learning, what materials I'm learning that week. So I really want to use this in a way that would help benefit me in the future during school. That's what I'm thinking about using this page for. And then when you go further into the book, you have your notebook pages. There's quite a bit of available sheets to write notes, but I don't know if this is going to be enough for the whole year. So I do plan on purchasing the notebook version of this when there is a restock available. And my idea is, let's say I'm over here and I write notes like see page 10 for extra notes. That would be here, and I can go to page 10 easily because they're all numbered. That's what I love about this notebook. Sorry, this agenda. I would be seeing here page 10, and then I could have all the notes that pertain to what I wrote over here. So that's what I'm thinking about using those pages for. But if you guys have any ideas and suggestions, please leave them in the comment section. I would love to know. And this again is the Common Planner A5 Slim in the horizontal layout. And then this one is also the Common Planner, but it's the A5, the full size, and it's in the vertical layout. For this planner, I plan on using this for work, and I would most likely only keep it at work unless I am working from home that day, which is not very often. So this would mainly live at work. Again, I'm still working on what I plan on using the layouts for, so do let me know if you have any suggestions. So the first one here is the quarterly layout, and what I feel would most make sense for me is to list what my professional goals are for this quarter and how I plan to achieve those goals. I would also have like key accomplishments, lessons learned, and what I'm building towards. So each year we have a review with our team lead and director, and I feel having this section here would be something that I would reference back when it comes time to reviews, so I could really show up my best during these reviews. And having this here would be helpful for me to really make sure I'm focused on those goals. This page here, I'm not too sure how I'll use this. Perhaps it is a time tracker as I did before. When it pertains to these goals, I want to make sure I'm spending enough time trying to accomplish these. I'm not sure if that would work here. Could give it a try, but this is still a page that I would like to use. So for the monthly page, I do have a work calendar that is digital, and I think that would be the best use of the calendar just keep it digital because my schedule always changes. And if I put it in here, it's just going to be a lot of crossing things out, winding things out. It's just going to get messy. So I'm going to keep my monthly schedule and my agenda on that digital system only for the monthly one at least. And then what I was thinking about for the agenda, the paper one here, was more so to kind of log notes about the vendors I meet. I meet a lot of vendors daily, weekly, monthly. I'm speaking to them all the time. And some of them I have a quote unquote close relationship with. Like we're talking about personal things, like personal life, non-work related. So I think this might be a good place for me to put some of that information so that I have something to reference in the future. Be like, oh yeah, what was this person's partner's name again? Or what is this person planning on studying in school? Same thing for my colleagues. I sometimes talk to my colleagues about what's going on in their life, and just having a place to reference, just like little reminders about, oh yeah, this person did say this. And then I could always further this conversation another time. So that's what I'm thinking I would use the monthly pages for. Other than that, I don't know what I would put in here because again, I plan to heavily focus on the digital calendar over the paper one. We'll see how it works. I mean, I can give it a try, and if it doesn't work, we'll change it up. Not a problem. For the weeklies, so again, this is the vertical layout. I pretty much have this solid and at a place that I'm really happy with. I'm not going to be really paying attention to the time notes on each day, but I want to use the layout vertically. So my idea here is to have one priority, just focus on one thing per day, because there's a lot that goes on in my day and I get pulled in so many different directions that having multiple priorities sometimes is just not possible. So having my one priority that I'll have for that day that would just solidify me progressing my task. After that, I have my agenda. So I would probably have maybe 3 hours worth of or 4 hours worth of blocks here that would list my agenda. So I could put like 9 o'clock meeting with team, 10 o'clock meeting with supplier, 11:30 meeting with team on so-and-so project. So just a few blocks here would focus on my agenda. And then after that, I would have some blocks that are focused on my tasks. So I could just do a few little squares, list out my tasks that I have that day. And then also at the very end would be my end of day reflection, just a sentence or two to really reflect on the day. How was I feeling? What was my energy level like? What was the highlight of the day? Just a little note about the day. It doesn't have to be a journal, just a little entry. And then for the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, I plan to use these as another sort of reflection point. So it could be my weekly wrap-ups, things I'm going to move to the next week that I didn't get done this week, any wins or improvements that I have, any ideas, an internal check-in, things I want to Google later that I just didn't have time to really deep dive into at that moment. So this is really a place for me to make notes and reflect on this week. Project-wise, I am pretty much only on 1 or 2 projects at a time, and that's what I plan to use these 2 little bottom areas for. It'd be active project tasks. So I'll list out the project name, list out the tasks that I have to do, and I would do the same on this side too. The only section I don't really have planned out is this area here. I don't know what I would do there. So maybe it's a tracker. I'm not too sure. This I still have to figure out. And if I don't use it, that's fine too. But this is available to do some sort of tracking or note taking as well. And again, this book does have the notebook section at the back with the numbered pages. So if I am writing something in the weekly section or the active project section, I can say see page 1, and then I go to page 1 and there's all the rest of the notes for what I'm referencing over here. So that's what I'm planning on using this for. Last but not least, I have my traveler's journal. Now, this is a new edition. I've seen these around for a long time and I never quite understood how I could bring this into my ecosystem. I really love Moleskine notebooks and other types of notebooks, so I didn't really want to bring in something else that I may or may not use. But after seeing some more videos on it, I'm like, this could be a really great system, and I'm thought of some ways to bring it into my life, and I'm excited for this one. So this is actually my not commonplace, oh my gosh. This is my personal curriculum journal, and it is the black leather traveler's notebook. I added in some of these little clips on the corners and side here, not necessarily to protect the leather. It's mainly there for decorative purposes. I really wanted to just bring in some personality again into my little system here. So I added these little clips. I bought them off of Etsy. And I am going to be using this as my personal curriculum journal and notebook. Now, when I first thought about what I wanted to use in terms of topics, I was going to pick 2 or 3 topics to really focus on. And I also wanted a place that I could reflect on my journey as well. So I want to write the actual topic on the cover, but I want to use a proper pen and ink, but when I have time to do it. So for now, I just did some washi tape and wrote on the cover just so that I know what this book is, but I will come back and write it on the cover. So this particular one is just a journal for me to reflect on my personal study, and it is the Traveler's Notebook dot grid system. I really love the dot grid. And the first topic that I'm going to be studying as part of my personal study is Revit for architecture. I am enrolled in a school program where they're teaching us how to use Revit for architecture. So in here, I just have my notes from the class that I'm taking and any drawings. I think I have a drawing here. Yeah. Some drawings of what is being talked about in the course. So this is just a way for me to come back to this, read up on it, and prepare for any tests and exams as well. So this is what this is for. The second topic here is The Artist's Way. Now, I had put this book together when I had more free time. As I mentioned, I do have a business, and a couple clients came to me with some asks of me, and I'm so thankful and so grateful for them, and I really appreciate that they trust me to do the work for them. However, it's just taken away from my free time. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to put The Artist's Way on hold until I have more time to be able to pick this back up again, because I really want to be intentional and put focus in this and not just rush through it just to get it done. So I put The Artist's Way on pause so that I can really commit to the ask of my clients. But when I do pick it up, it'll be in this notebook. So really the only topic, that I'm focused on for right now is Revit for architecture, and I have to complete this course by the end of December. And this is my personal curriculum notebook. I'm obsessed with the system. I think it just looks really, really cute and really sturdy. I'm excited to see how this ages over time. It's really nice. Yeah, so that is it. This is the system that I plan to use for 2026. Again, I have my personal and business ring agenda. I have the Traveler's Notebook in the regular size for my personal curriculum. And then I have 2 Sterling ink common planners for both school and work. And these are the items I'm really gonna implement into the new year. I feel so excited and I can't wait to use them. I'm excited to really fill everything in and really be intentional with my time this year. or this upcoming year. I know that it's going to be a lot to juggle, both my personal life and school and my business and then work, and just it's going to be a lot. So I really wanted to make sure I picked items I felt would really help me focus on these tasks, really get those goals checked off, and have the most successful year ever. Like, this is truly the year where I feel I am really going to be pushing myself mentally and physically and trying to do a lot, and I really want to be intentional with that. So again, these are the items I'm using. Maybe I should share my pens. That might be fun too. Let me show you those quickly. So as I mentioned, I love pens, I love inks, I love stationery, I love all the things. And what kind of got me started down the rabbit hole is this pen here by Kaweco. It is the Kaweco Art Sport in the terrazzo finish here. I love this pen so much. This is currently in an extra fine nib, and I had a fountain pen before. I can't remember which it was initially. It might have been a Lamy, and it was just one that I just picked up without doing research. I was trying to get into fountain pens and I didn't connect with it. I just wasn't enjoying the experience. So I kind of wrote off fountain pens altogether. But then once I saw this pen, I'm like, ooh, this would look so good with my agenda. And it does. I love this combination together. So I bit the bullet, bought the pen, and haven't looked back ever since. It is still my favorite pen. And then I kind of did a little bit more research about fountain pens. I found the Kaweco Brass Sport, which I'm also obsessed with. This one too, I believe is a medium. No, this one's a medium nib. I'm probably gonna swap it out to an extra fine, but it has a medium right now. A gold-plated medium nib. And it's a hefty pen, like she's heavy. When I first was writing with it, I'm like, oh, I don't know about it. But as you start writing with it more, you get used to it. It has lost some of its sheen as it patinas over time. So these are my two main pens that I love to write with. And I mainly use this one for in here. This has a brown ink. Currently inked in here is Ferris Wheel Press's Steeped Umber. It's a beautiful, beautiful brown ink. Has some red undertones to it. And the bottle too, like, how do you not... it's just such beautiful, beautiful bottle. Love it. So this pen houses this ink. And I mainly use this in my Louis Vuitton agenda. In my brass pen here, I believe I have a green ink that I am testing out. I'm trying to find a really nice green ink for my work agenda. It's not dark enough, so I'm probably going to switch it out and try another one. I have a bunch of samples that I'm playing with right now. But yeah, so maybe this is something I'll share again too in other videos. But these are like my two babies. I love them so much. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you guys have any comments or questions about my agendas or pens or the inks that I have, I am really excited and happy to answer anything that you may have and to read your comments as well. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching the video, and we'll talk soon. Bye!